Hello and welcome to my 53rd water review for YouTube. Today is Friday, February 8th, 2019, and this week I will be reviewing Serbian water, Knjaz Milos. Now please let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but from what I've found online it is pronounced Knjaz Milos. Now Knjaz Milos comes from the central Serbian town of Aranđelovac, or however you pronounce it, please let me know as well. And it has a very interesting history dating back all the way to 1811, and it starts with a tale of a prince, Prince Milos, and his servant was wandering through the forest when he and his horse got stuck in a muddy quagmire. They could not get out, and so Prince Milos was going to kill his horse before his servant told him to spare its life. So they left the horse there, and the next day the servant came back to find the horse drinking the water out of the muddy quagmire. After a few days of drinking the water, the horse was eventually able to escape the waters. And so the prince ended up building a well in the area due to the apparent healing properties of the water. And funny enough, according to the story, the horse would only drink water from the muddy quagmire, refusing any of the water the servants would bring it. So just an interesting history there. And overall, Knjaz Milos's website had a good amount of information about their history. However, they didn't really include much about the source of the water or the water itself. Another place where they did have a good amount of information was in terms of social responsibility, and they talked about how the company works with the local community in terms of programs and improving the lives of the citizens of the town. And one of the programs that Knjaz Milos sponsors is the Let's Get Our Children Moving program, which promotes physical activity in the local schools. Now, moving on to bottle design and materials, and Knjaz Milos's bottle is quite good overall. The materials in the bottle are high quality and feel very sturdy. This is a 1.5 liter bottle, so it's unlikely to fit in your cup holder, but overall the design is very well constructed. Same goes for the cap. The materials are quite good. It's a little shorter than I would have liked, but overall not a whole lot to complain about. In terms of bottle design, the bottle is this lovely dark green color with Knjaz Milos embossed into the top of the bottle here, and they also have the company name written on the cap, which are just nice premium touches that really give a little personal touch to the bottle. The label itself is also nicely designed and fairly well secured to the bottle. As you may be able to see, there is some slight wrinkling in the bottle label. However, overall, it does not feel like it's going to come off easily. So, not a huge deal there, but it would have been nice to see it maybe secured a little bit better. In terms of the design of the bottle, they do what Borsec did last week in having this lovely landscape with what I would assume is a spa or some sort of palace on the front here, and they've incorporated the forest tree line into the green design of the bottle to give it this really unified and complete look, really blending in nicely with the bottle. They also have that nice green and red accent on the label as well, continuing that really classy looking color scheme that they have throughout their bottle. And overall, just a nice, clean, elegant design on the front. And to finish it all off, they also include a ingredients list and a nutrition facts and mineral table as well. So just an overall really nicely designed complete package with all the necessary information you need and nothing more. Overall, well done in terms of bottle design and materials. Now, moving on to how does Knjaz Milos taste and smell. Now, on the mineral table in the back, it mentions that there is quite a lot of sodium at 360 milligrams for this entire 1.5 liter bottle. So I'm expecting a lot of salty notes. It's also not naturally carbonated. They add carbonation to the water, so that might affect the flavor as well. So on the nose, you get a slight sour note, almost a sour metallic note, and you also do get a slight sweet and salty note on the nose as well. In terms of taste, carbonation is not too strong. It might have been shipped, and I'm sure over time the carbonation has left the bottle, but overall it has lost a lot of carbonation. I would have preferred that it had a slight more carbonated taste to it, but overall it has some nice sweet and sour notes in the beginning, but that's mostly overshadowed by a very strong salty note, and that saltiness really changes the mouthfeel as well, giving a slight soft mouthfeel and leaving a residue in your mouth. Overall, it's not the most complex flavor, but it's definitely not unappealing. I probably wouldn't drink it every day just because it's a little too salty for my liking, and I do prefer that zesty, sour, sweet note of carbonated waters, but definitely a decent taste overall. So, in terms of final score, for company history and interestingness, Knjaz Milos has a lot of information about the history of the company. However, they do not mention much about the source or the product itself, but they do bring it back with good social and CSR initiatives in that case. However, I would have liked to see a little bit more about maybe environmental initiatives and a bit more information about the source of the water. So in terms of company history and interestingness, they get 2 out of 2.5 points. In terms of bottle design and materials are quite good, and the design of the bottle is nice as well. The only thing I'm not too fond of is the securing of the label to the bottle. I think that might have been just a manufacturing defect, but that could certainly be improved. But they do have all the necessary tables and a really nice, clean, elegant design, so they get 2.25 out of 2.5 points for bottle design and materials. In terms of taste and nose, the taste is quite good and the nose is decent as well. However, they're not my favorite when it comes to carbonated waters. I think the saltiness really dominates the flavor, and if you're looking for a slightly salty, it's not overly salty, but that's definitely the most prominent note in the taste, then I would recommend trying Knjaz Milos. But if you're looking for that zesty sweet flavor of something like a Perrier or San Pellegrino, I would certainly stick to those waters. But overall, decent flavors and a decent nose as well. So in terms of taste and nose, they get 2.5 out of 4 points. In terms of value, the 1.5 liter bottle I purchased cost just $2 at a local specialty shop, which in terms of water per dollar is certainly a good value compared to something like a Perrier or a San Pellegrino. However, in terms of the overall taste of the water, which really is the most important part, I would certainly go with them over Knjaz Milos in terms of that aspect of the water. However, it really depends on what you're looking for in flavor. So, in terms of value, I'm giving them 0.75 out of 1 point. And rounding it all up, they get a final score of 7.5 out of 10, which ties them with Gerolsteiner and Montpellier. So, they're kind of top middle of the pack in terms of carbonated waters. And it really has to do with that great bottle design, that interesting company history, and a decent overall flavor. However, even out of those 3 waters, I would certainly choose Gerolsteiner or Montpellier over Knjaz Milos in terms of taste really, but overall they do quite well. So if you're looking for an interesting Serbian water, I would check out Knjaz Milos. So thank you all for watching. I will see you next week for my water review, as well as my next installment of my educational / history series of videos. And please like, subscribe, comment, and share with all of your friends. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.